Hi, everybody. Today is Sunday, August 30th, 2020. And today I want to talk a little bit about meetups and the need to evolve. So, specifically, over the last couple months, as I've been working on Guildflow, I have been setting up interviews and having conversations with lots of other meetup organizers. These interviews are not really about software, they're more about finding a little bit more information about their group, more general things like what is your group? What do you do? What it's working well? What are you struggling with? And what are you and your members' motivations? So last week I had a conversation with an organizer, and the observations that they had really aligned with some of my own. And so I want to kind of talk a little bit about it today. And the big thing is just meetup groups as a whole over the last 5 years or so are on the decline. I actually have a Google Trend chart, which I'll kind of show here, just to kind of visualize it a little bit. But, I've been running meetup groups for a long time. I have a long history of running the Philly Cocoa Heads group, and then now a Philly Elixir group. And I can definitely relate to this observation. And so I want to talk a little bit about why do I think these are declining. So the short answer really is just competition. If you are a meetup, there are two big things that you're providing. You're providing, and I'm going to be talking about technical meetups because that's my wheelhouse. But you are providing information, so information dissemination, and social activities around this, like a technology or a platform or something. And so the first thing is about information. So historically, meetups and conferences to a lesser extent were basically, the big opportunity to talk about the new technology or something that was coming out. But now, people don't wait until the conference or the meetup to release their technical talk. People are blogging, people are tweeting, people are sharing videos on YouTube. People are asking questions and finding answers on Stack Overflow. People share code on GitHub. The information avalanche just never stops. And so these historic channels, like meetups and conferences, just are not needed as much for this specific purpose as they once were. In a similar vein, the socialization aspects. So, people still need to socialize. I don't think that's going away. But this idea that I had to, drive to a building on the second Wednesday of a month to meet people who were doing something in the language that I favor. You don't need to do that anymore because you can find people online to talk to. Now, there are still lots of advantages to the local community, which I'll talk a little bit about later. But the point being that you absolutely need to connect with other people who are doing what you are interested in. You do not need a meetup. And so the big question is with all that said, should you consider starting a meetup? Should you consider putting renewed energy into your existing meetup? Obviously, I'm here as a proponent of the benefits of meetup, and I run meetups and recommend other people start meetups, and so I'm obviously a little biased here. But I do think there are still a lot of opportunities in the meetup space. But the thing of it is you need to evolve your expectations for what a meetup is and how it operates. And so, I feel looking at the trends, if you are a group, and the pattern of your group is we meet once a month at this building to eat pizza and talk about technology X, these groups will not be around in 5 years, which is a shame. I mean, it's kind of a shame because it's something I've grown up with and I've gotten a lot out of, but these groups need to evolve. And this is not something that is a new thing since COVID. Obviously, COVID has exacerbated the situation and really made it even more clear than it was before. But these groups need to change. And so in the second half of this video now, we'll talk a little bit about some ideas. And so I think on the whole, a modern successful meetup community looks a little bit something like this, where instead of one event a month, it is multiple events a month, usually on a smaller scale. I think there's opportunities for in-person events, hopefully once, it's a little bit more safe out there, but also a lot of stuff online. And specifically, I'll mention with the ones in person, I think meetups are in a bad place too, because it's like meetups are kind of inherently optional. Like, people have to go to work and they have to get their car repaired and they have to go to the grocery store. And so they will do those things before they do a meetup. So expect meetups to be on the tail curve of any kind of recovery from the virus. But yeah, so more events at smaller scale. And I think you can split these events into two basic groups. One around casual socialization. So thinking in tech speak, I'm thinking of things like Hack Nights or Side Project Saturday, which we run with Cocoa Heads, group show and tell, those types of things. Like, basically a space where people can come together, they can ask questions and demo things, but it's very ad hoc, it's very casual. There's not a real strict agenda, although there are, I think, some opportunities for a little bit of there's a little bit of opportunities we'll talk at the end for about making sure new people can participate in these. But so social events like those, and then goal-oriented events. So I'm thinking of things like, people want to learn a new skill, and so you have like a book club, or you have a workshop, or, people are looking to improve their career or find a new job. So you have mentoring systems, you have masterminds, you have, if they have side projects, you create scenarios where they can, exchange their time to work on each other's side projects, which is like a bartering system, which I've talked about before. The big idea is that you need to drift away from this like once a month event model to a ongoing supportive community around whatever technology or platform that you're really interested in. This is with like a lot of events, and then with just like passive chatting. So basically having a Slack or a Discord or some kind of online space where they can do those things. I do think in-person events are helpful, but I would probably think about doing them on more of like a 6-month schedule. So like, I think it would be nice that a group actually has like a big event where they all come together. I'm thinking of things like maybe you have an outdoor barbecue, or maybe you have a sit-down dinner. And you do it every 6 months, and so like it makes that event like a very big deal. So it's like it's promoted well in advance, and people get a little like fear of missing out, so they want to be there because it's like it's the biannual get together for our group. I think those are good, but I think those need to be like peppered throughout the year with lots of other things going on. As we talked about before, like the COVID thing has made this even tougher to deal with at the moment. For the groups that have been continuing to do something online during the early months here of COVID, I think that's great. I definitely think you want to have some momentum in your group. I think for the groups that have stopped, like who haven't had an event since February or January, I think it's going to be harder to kind of like get those kickstarted again. But the one big warning I wanted to put out there is that a lot of these groups are living on borrowed time a little bit because they are living off of existing relationships. And so, like, if you look at the people who are joining the Zoom calls and, coming into these things, they are the people who have already been participating in the groups, who already know each other. And I think the worry for me is that the like a successful meetup group is a lot about churn. Like over time, people come, new people come in and people leave, and it's just the natural, life cycle of a community. But right now, I think there's a lot of friction for new people to join a group because a lot of people haven't really built in structures to handhold these new people into the community. And so they're just dropped into the middle of a Zoom call with 10 other people they've never met before. But those 10 people already know each other. So there's just a lot of like awkwardness. And so I think if you as an organizer want to put a lot of, energy into creating a successful group, you need to think about like, how do I onboard these new people? And I think you can do that through making sure there is some agenda time, even in the casual events, for introductions and to make sure new people have an opportunity to participate. I also think you should, and this is a more general thing, but I also think you should make it so you can set expectations. So if people want to join a meetup that's like happening online, but they just want to passively listen in, that's fine. Let them do that. Like, it's all about setting expectations. Like, you don't, like, if you're going to have a breakout room where everybody has to talk to each other, make sure they know that's going to happen. But creating spots in the agenda, and then also setting up one-on-ones. So basically giving them an opportunity to sit down with somebody from the leadership and just have, a coffee and just chat and just find out, like, why are you interested in our group? What are you looking to do? Oh, you're looking to, do a side project. Well, you should come to this event and we can talk about side projects. Or you're looking for some help with code review. Well, you can sign up to this list and we do, shared code review. Things like that. I think it would help. I would think it would help the new person coming into the community, because if we're not creating an environment where new people can join a community, like, it's just going to continue to decline, like, over time. That's kind of just the nature of it. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough right now. I don't want to discount that, but I love meetups. I've met so many great people through meetups, gotten tremendous work opportunities through meetup groups. And so I'm a big fan of them. I think they are extremely productive. I do think there's a benefit to having them local. So even though that we're online, like, it is like I can attend a meetup. Like, I'm in Philadelphia, I can attend a meetup in California. But it's not about like the sitting in, like, the one time sitting in and listening to a technical talk. It's more like interacting with people on an ongoing basis. So however you can define that, if it's based off a locality or something, that's what it's really all about. But I guess that pretty much covers what I wanted to talk about today. I have a lot more to think about and share on these topics. So if you're interested, definitely you can follow myself on Twitter. You can follow Guildflow on Twitter. You can also join the Guildflow announcement list, because we'll be talking about how Guildflow can be a part of this strategy of running successful technical meetups. But I want to thank you for your time and for watching. Have a good weekend and best of luck with your group. We'll see you next time. Bye.